Testing, testing, testing. Is this thing on? Is this thing working? I'm gonna go ahead and guess it. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it's working. Go ahead and guess that it's working, that it's alive and well, that we are alive and well on this beautiful Tuesday night. It's a nice Tuesday night. We're just gonna talk. It's a Tuesday night talks. We're just gonna chill, hang out, discuss a few things, and then we're just gonna have it. We gonna call it after that. That's all we're doing. Nothing crazy. I'm already yawning because it's. I'll be honest with you. I'll be completely honest with you. You know, I'll be honest. I almost didn't. Let's get it started. Oh, can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Can we feel it, Mr. Krabs? I'm gonna keep that music going for a second, just because I like the vibe. How's everybody doing? Ooh, yeah. That was a great itch. That was a great itch. Oh man. You know, I almost didn't stream tonight. I almost didn't stream tonight. Oh fudge. Oh fudge. Oh fudge. Oh, Mr. Krabs. Oh, Mr. Krabs. Oh, I should have left it alone, Mr. Krabs. Okay. Yo, what the French? And just like that, just how I meant it. Just how I meant for it to be the whole time. Just like it is now. Just how I meant it, the way that it is right now. Just how I always intended for it to be. The way that I meant it, the way that I planned for it to go, and the way that I intended for it to be. We're gonna cut the music. I'm done with it. Get it out. I'm done. I almost didn't go live. The shirt, there it is. Sometimes this angle make it look like I got breasts. I almost didn't go live. I almost didn't go live. Why? Because I'm tired. Okay, I'm tired. I almost didn't go live because I'm tired. Going back and forth on whether it'd be more beneficial for me to call it for the night, stream in the morning. I just have too much to do tomorrow to be able to stream this because I want to have a stream where I'm just talking. So I'm gonna start doing that probably. That's gonna be my Tuesday night thing. I think Tuesday nights I'll kind of just be chilling, gabbing, and that might just be how that is. And yeah, at least one day a week at least, where I'm just kind of touching bases, going over thoughts. At the moment, it's also the perfect time because Alien Earth, their episodes air every Tuesday. Frankly, Tiny. I actually love that. That's fire. With a chainsaw, that's crazy. I love that. Tuesday nights are perfect at the moment because Alien Earth, the episodes for Alien Earth air every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. And, bro, to be honest with you, the episode was just too good this week for me to not come on and talk about it tonight. Like, I didn't have a choice. I kind of had to come on here and talk about it. I had to talk about it because it was so good. It was just too good. It really was. And we've been streaming now for 10 minutes. I feel like I just got to get into it. Because frankly, it was way too good. Okay. So for the people who may or may not be fans of the Alien franchise, if you are not, okay, first stop, rewind. We're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about some music. We're going to talk about the show. We're going to talk about aliens and the end of the world and whatever the hell else is happening at the moment. Um, Rajah Jackson committing murder on live stream. We're gonna cover a couple of things that I want to talk about. But back to Alien. If you have no interest in this franchise, whether you've seen a movie, you haven't seen a movie, you're like, that's just not for me. This show is, and people are gonna hate it when I say it, and frankly, I don't care because it's just the truth. I need to move this camera. I gotta move it. I have to. It's gonna drive me insane if I don't. I have to. I have to. I have to. I have to. Is this Mr. Krabs? Mr. Krabs. Okay. Frankly, regardless of what I don't care what anybody says, this show is better. It's better written. It's better shot. It's better acted. It's a better put together project than anything else in the Alien franchise. Don't care. Debate with your mom, debate with your cat, debate with your great grandma who's borderline dementia. She's already kind of losing her brain a little bit, so things come and go, and a lot of what she say may or may not be true, and we all just kind of gotta look at her and understand the fact that this is just a natural thing that comes with aging, and we're gonna have to accept grandma for who she is, who she was, and and appreciate the fact that she's done so much for this family. Debate with whoever you want. It's the best thing in the Alien franchise by far. It's not even close. This is so far a stellar piece of work. This last episode, the reason that I had to jump on here and go live, I finished watching it 10 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago. I literally finished the episode, went to the bathroom, came up here, set up the stream, and went live. The series is so good. And when the show started, I was worried. I was worried for a few reasons, and I've talked about it briefly before on the stream. One of the reasons why I was so worried about the idea of this show is because it's very difficult to put together a show in the horror thriller genre. It's very difficult. Very rarely does it ever get done well. And it doesn't mean that there aren't great moments with those shows in those genres. But it is very, very difficult to put together a thriller horror show. Why? Mo, why do you say that when there's so many great thriller horror movies? Because with a movie can last, it can have whatever timeline. It can span a decade, it can span 5 hours. But a movie is going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours long. You can get in, tell the story, get out, have amazing moments that will stay with viewers the rest of their lives, and then you can get out. The difficulty with creating a show in that genre is that you have to be able to in today's era of television, there's no such thing as 30-minute episodes anymore. It doesn't really exist. So you have to take into consideration the fact that when somebody commits to a TV show nowadays, when it comes to creating a TV show, let's just say it's 8 episodes. They're 8-hour-long episodes. That's 4 movies. So for one season of this show, they're making 4 movies. Now, in the specific case of Alien Earth, I don't know exactly how many episodes they're doing. Should we look that up? I want to look it up, but I don't want to look it up. I kind of just want to go into it every weekend and kind of just be surprised. I love when the season finale of a show pops up. And just by watching the show, I'm like, this feels like a season finale. You know what I mean? I absolutely love that. I love that so much. When I have no idea. So there are 8 episodes. So we're now halfway through the first season. Boom. So we're halfway through the first season. Okay. Back to what I was saying. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now because I was getting ready to go to bed. The episode was too good. I had to come on here and talk about it. The problem with sustaining horror or thriller is that you have to do it for 4 movies long, and it's exhausting. So people can come on and you can watch Family Guy for a couple hours and be perfectly fine and just laugh and get your giggles in and do whatever. It's not exhausting to do that, but it's exhausting to live in a thriller. Like just the nature of the genre in and of itself, it thrives off of anxiety, right? So if you're not anxious about what's happening, what's going to happen, if you're not gripping your seat, then the show's not doing its job. You're not going to connect to it. But you can't grip your seat for, how long can you do that? You know what I mean? And I think that is something that other genres don't have to balance as well. And one of the problems when it comes to horror, especially in franchises that we know, is a lot of shows, as I've said before, they'll give you a whole bunch at one specific spot in the season. And in the rest of the season, the show either has to change entirely or it's just coasting on by, leaving you unfulfilled. Examples. We saw that I feel like I've done this before. The Walking Dead, right? I think it was season 7 of The Walking Dead. So season 6 ends of The Walking Dead, and we have all of our favorite characters. We're watching them. We finally caught up with this Negan figure that we it's been Easter eggs have been planted. We've been following breadcrumbs the entire show. I'm Negan, he's Negan, she's Negan, we're all Negan. Fuck it, we're all Negan, I'm Negan, my dog is Negan. And then at the end of the season, we have Negan. If I remember correctly, the season ends with somebody getting the shit beat out of him off screen. We hear it, but we don't see it. Season 7 opens, and we're watching Glenn and Abraham getting their faces bashed in with a baseball bat. Okay? People that we have been watching now since the beginning of the show, we've been following these 2 individuals, right, amongst a myriad of others. But these 2 have been there since what, season 1, 2? I mean, maybe 2. I don't even remember, but since the beginning of the show. And so you have Glenn getting his face bashed in, Abraham, same thing. And then for the next X amount of episodes, you have Rick being dragged around on a leash by Negan like he a little bad puppy dog. He's sticking his face in urine and smacking his snout with a newspaper and all that. And then the show kind of, it goes into this weird thing where we're following the dispersed group and how they're responding to everybody's death or whatever. It's impossible for you to match what you just watched in episode 1. It's impossible. Episode 1 of that season is one of the biggest moments in TV history. It's impossible to follow it up, right? So boom, now the rest of the season is kind of scrambling to try to maintain and try to keep people watching, but you're ultimately going to feel unfulfilled. Example 2. God, I feel like I'm just repeating. My life is it's an endless cycle. It's repeating. The Haunting of Hill House. Very good show, fantastic show, The Haunting of Hill House. So one of the biggest mysteries in the beginning of that show, or throughout that season 1, I didn't watch season 2, is the mystery of the bent neck lady. So this girl and this family are being haunted by the bent neck lady. We're trying to figure out the origins of the bent neck lady. We have no idea what this is, what is going on. There's some misdirection where you think it might be the mom because of what's going on. Then episode 4 out of an 8-episode season, you figure out that the bent neck lady is you figure out that the little girl that's being haunted by the bent neck lady the bent neck lady is the future ghost of the little girl that's being haunted. So the little girl that's being haunted grows up in that house, kills herself, becomes the bent neck lady, and then is haunting her child self from the past. It's mind blowing. It's a mind blowing twist, right? Like it. I've never seen anything like it. There's no precedent for it in the genre at all. Like I can't think of a period of time where something like that. Like I couldn't even tell you where the blueprint for that came from. You know what I mean? Like that was an insane moment. It was great, but that happens in episode 4. Then the rest of the season kind of turns into this family drama thing where we're following how the family is dealing with it. It's the same. It's just a weird thing to maintain. The show is done so well through 4 seasons. It's paced beautifully, and every episode they're able to continue adding things to the plot to keep you engaged without overwhelming you. And I think it's so interesting to see as a viewer because there's so many different things that are being introduced. I thought the big plot line of the season was going to be what happens to Wendy and her brother when they finally reunite. Wendy, little girl, is dying of a sickness, has her consciousness uploaded into an AI body. Now this 10-year-old girl or whatever, her consciousness is now in a grown adult AI body, and is seeking to reconnect with her biological brother. I thought that was going to be the driving, question of the season, was what's going to happen. That gets resolved in episode 2 or 3, but then it just continue. It just, then they add the whole thing with, one of the synthetics is now connected to the synthetic from another organization. So now they're communicating, across the planet, which they should not be. I gotta cover this. So at this current point in time, they're experimenting with the alien species. In every alien movie I've seen, they've tried to experiment the alien species and it's failed. Every single time. We don't ever get any information as to what this species is, how it works. We know they're intelligent solely due to the fact that they're efficient hunters, but we get nothing else. And one thing when this show started that I was thinking was it would be beautiful to get a bit of a deeper look into the alien species. Not enough to the point where I can say, oh, I know, because I do like the mysterious nature of this specific species. It's kind of like the Yoda species from Star Wars to me, where would I like to have the information? Yes. But do I prefer to have that mystery? Also, yes. But one thing they make clear in the show is that they are highly intelligent. Early on in the show, they're experimenting. They have one of the it looks like a tiny little squid thing, but it has an eyeball on top of it. And so they got that from the crashed Weyland-Yutani ship. And to see how it works, they put it into a cage with a lamb. So it pops into, mind you, they're measuring the brain waves of the lamb the entire time. It gets led into the little enclosure, hijacks the lamb, kicks out the lamb's eyeball, launches its little body into the eye socket of the lamb, and apparently takes over its brain. And while they're measuring the brain waves, they start going crazy, right? And it was just showing the comparison between the activity of the lamb versus the activity of this alien, tiny little creature looking thing. And it was so interesting to see, because it goes from being this sort of weird bug thing, now it has a host. So now you're starting to see some of the intelligence as a result of the fact that it has a host. And it was so eerie, where it takes over the lamb's body and it's just staring at the guys behind the glass. And it's not like looking around, taking in the environment and doing all this extra stuff. It's locked onto this guy, then it locks onto that guy, then it locks onto this guy, and it's just staring at these people, just studying them. And it was just such a chilling moment because you don't really get that in the alien movies, right? It's usually you get quick glances before attack, and just seeing having that be behind the glass and just staring at them was so chilling, and something that I just haven't felt for the alien. That was the first time I was ever legitimately scared watching any alien anything. Oh, it just gave me chills. And then you have Kid Wonder, what's his name? Boy Genius, little piece of shit billionaire, little shit. He has no regard for anything aside from the exploration of this whole thing. He's throwing caution to the wind entirely. He cares about nothing other than how this might possibly generate significant levels of income. So he's throwing all caution to the side to just keep exploring these races, or this alien race. Wendy, the main synthetic in the entire show. Another beautiful part of this. Wendy, somehow, that is yet to be answered, is able to detect the language that is being spoken by the aliens in the show. I mean, come on. That's never existed. Nobody who's ever watched an alien show, because they had something similar, they had a quasi similar thing in Alien Covenant where I forgot that dude's name, the AI in that show, where he was essentially he was trying to create the perfect xenomorph or whatever the deal was. So he was kind of like this parental figure type of thing. It was weird. But even then, we didn't really get, they're communicating actively in frequencies that the human ear can't pick up. And it was, and that just enhanced the thrilling aspect of the show for me, because not only now halfway into this episode do I know that they are highly intelligent, now I also know that they are constantly communicating around these people at all times, and we are unable to detect it. And the only reason we know it is because one of the synthetic beings can accidentally pick up on their frequencies. It wasn't by design. It's just a matter of happenstance. That's brilliant. Like, that's brilliant. That's brilliant writing. Oh man, it's so good. And that's how the episode starts off. Um, that's how the episode starts off. And then you have Nibs, right? Um, and ever since Nibs is the little ginger girl, she's another one of the synthetics of the. She was a little girl who had her consciousness uploaded into a synthetic body. She was another one, um, who was deployed to the crash site early on in the show. So she's got PTSD from seeing the aliens and all that shit. Her mind is fucked. So she's all over the place. She's falling apart. She's losing her shit. She was about to rip the head off of the therapist lady. She's synthetic, and she's convinced herself that she's pregnant. It's a wrap. I don't know what's gonna happen to Shorty, but it's a wrap. Stick a fork in it. She's done. She gonna rip the head off that therapist lady. She gonna do something real dumb. I'm telling you that right now. You don't believe? I'm telling you that right now. The little ginger girl, what's her name? Nibs gonna do something real stupid. Promise. Believe it. Save it. Me saying it. Clip it and save it. She gonna do something dumb as hell. And boy, is it gonna piss us off when it happens. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Sorry, I'm getting a little animated, bro. The show is so good. Oh God, it's so good. Um, what else happened? What else happened? The okay. So the brother wants to leave, right? The brother, who is Wendy's brother. So the girl who had her consciousness put into the AI, Wendy, the main girl who was seeking out her biological brother. Her brother is involved in the show now. He wants to take her and leave. And they're letting dude know, they're like, hey, brother, she's company property now. You know, she's company property now. This is not your sister. Your sister is deceased. Now, we took her consciousness and uploaded it into a synthetic body, but this is property of Prodigy. This is not your sister, so you can't take her and leave. And it's very thought provoking, right? Because there's a scene where Joe, he's talking to one of the head honcho guys for Prodigy, and he asks him two questions. He says, what did he ask? He's like, did you upload my sister's consciousness? Is this my sister? Like he asked them sequentially. He's like, did you upload my sister's body into this consciousness? Is this my sister? And the guy looks at him. He tells him, I forgot exactly what he said. He was like, those are two different questions. Right? He's like, those are two different questions. And the whole time I'm watching this, right, it's this whole ship of Theseus sort of situation where the little girl was dying. She had her consciousness uploaded into a mainframe and transferred to a synthetic body. Now this little girl's consciousness exists in the synthetic body. Is that still the same girl? Like, is it still her? You know what I mean? Is it her? Like, how much of yourself do you need to be you? Becomes the question, right? And that's the whole ship of Theseus example, right? The whole ship of Theseus is a thought experiment. It's essentially, you know, how much of this, like, for example, you have this ship, you put it in a museum, and the ship stood for 1,000 years. As the ship ages, the wood starts to rot and fall off. In order to keep this ship erect, you have to start taking the old rotting pieces of wood and replace them, right? And then as those fall off, you replace them to keep this ship standing as a monument of what previously was. The question is, how much wood can you replace and have this ship continue to be the ship that it was? At what point does it cease to be what it previously was? How many new parts can you put on it before it's no longer that original ship, right? Is it one? Once you replace it, this one piece of wood, is it no longer the same ship? What if it's 20% new wood? 30%? What if it's 70%? What if it's 70% new wood, but 30% of it is still the same wood that was on the ship from 1,000+ years ago, right? And so that's what's going on with the synthetics in this show. It's how much, or is this still the same girl? You know, she has her consciousness, she has her memories, right? Is what makes you you? Is it just your cognition and memories? Is that what it is? Is it your cognition? Cognition plus memories equals, you know, you know what I mean? Like, what is that? So yeah, Joe, the brother, essentially goes to the guy. He wants to leave. Dude says, "Yeah, okay, you can go, but you'll never talk to your sister again." And hey, remember that new lung that we gave you last episode? We're gonna bill you for it. So the choice is yours. You can stay here, stay in contact with your sister, and we'll work out a payment plan for your new lung. Or you can leave and do what you want to do. Leave. We'll bill you for the lung. You'll never see your sister again. So that was what happened there. Then you fast forward back to Wendy and her ability to detect the alien communication. And she had set up something interesting when she was talking to Boy Cavalier. She was saying that you should send them back when referring to the aliens. And it wasn't just the aliens in general. Actually, I need to correct that because if I remember, I believe she said specifically it was the eggs that she was hearing. It was the eggs. She said that the eggs were screaming. Pelin G59. Hello, Pelin. Wendy is... So all of the characters in the show, all the synthetics, they're named after the Lost Boys from Peter Pan. So the Wendy in the show is the first... She was the first one who had her consciousness put into the synthetic. So yeah, essentially, she's the favorite. She's the alpha. She's the ringleader. Like, you know, she's kind of the go-to there, and she is badass. But yeah, Wendy was saying, she said specifically that she could hear the eggs. And she had said something to Boy Cavalier at one point. She was like, we should send them back. And she was saying that the eggs were screaming. And that's wild to think about. When you think about, in the context of the Alien franchise, to think of them as a thing that's screaming for help and that would like to be returned back to its home planet. Because, you know, you just see them as these insane murder machines, you know. Kirsch, we need to stop and take a second to acknowledge Kirsch, because this dude, what's his name? I've seen him in so much. What's his name? He's a fantastic actor. Timothy Olyphant. How did I forget his name? Timothy Olyphant plays Kirsch. He plays one of the AIs in the show. Bro, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. His performance as Kirsch is like the dad AI. The difference between Kirsch and the other ones is so there's a group of synthetics who had their child brains uploaded into synthetic bodies, adult synthetic bodies. If I remember, Kirsch is not that. Kirsch is just an AI. So Kirsch is essentially, he's trained Wendy. He's the one who's, you know, kind of sent to look after everybody else. He's kind of like the dad of that group in a sense, but he's not really like them, but he's like them. But he's played by Timothy Olyphant. Timothy Olyphant is fantastic in this show. Oh my God, he's brilliant. I love it so much. Every time he comes on the screen, every time he steps on the screen, he just commands so much attention. And with him being an AI, it's difficult when a character that you know, when an actor you know is playing an AI in shows or playing a robot or whatever. And I feel like that's a lot of the reason. I feel like that's a big part of the reason why you rarely ever see big name actors play robots or AI or something, because you know them, you've seen them in other roles. So for you to see them go from being expressive and falling in love or sad or excited about a birthday or whatever to being these sort of monotone, expressionless beings, it's kind of hard to buy sometimes. Right? It's kind of hard for you to accept it because you've seen them be really expressive elsewhere. Whereas, like the kid who played the AI, the black kid who played the kid in AI and Alien Romulus, I've never seen that actor before. he had a superb performance in Alien Romulus, and I don't know if I would have felt the same way if I had known who he was previously. You know, if I had seen him in another show, you know, when he was in high school and crushing on the cheerleader, or, you know, doing whatever, I don't know if I would have been able to buy that as well. The emotionless sort of deadpan, it would have been difficult for me to get on board with. Timothy Oliphant is so good. He sells this role so well. One of my favorite parts of the show. I think he's brilliant. Oh my God, he is so good. So good to see. I've seen him in stuff before, but this is it has to be my favorite Timothy Oliphant role. And it's a big part of it is due to the fact that he just sells it so well. He's so good. But yeah, so Arush and Kumi. Kumi was he was a synthetic from another ship. He was from the crashed ship. So he was on the ship that crashed, and when the Prodigy group, which is the Neverland group, got deployed to go explore the crash site, he was on that ship, and he was essentially killing people off to make sure that nobody touched the alien species that he was assigned to explore. So he is now connected with Arush. Arush is one of the Prodigy. He's one of the Prodigy synthetics, right? He's one of the Prodigy AIs, synthetics. He's not AI, he's synthetic. And so now they're kind of communicating from across the planet, and the black dude from the other ship, Kumi, the one from the crashed Weyland-Yutani ship, he's communicating with Arush. He's trying to get Arush to steal a sample of the alien egg so that he can essentially do the job that he was programmed to do. He just can't get over there. So he's trying to get Arush to steal it and then deliver it to him. And the whole time, Timothy Oliphant's Kirsch character is monitoring the conversation. And so in your head, you're like, oh, fuck, is the kid going to do this? What's he going to do? What's going to happen when he gets caught? Is he going to get caught? And then you see that Timothy Oliphant's Kirsch is tapped into the frequency. He knows what's happened in terms of the connection that's been established, and he's monitoring the whole thing and letting it play out. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, I love it. I fucking love it. Bro, it's so good. Bro, it's so good. Like, did anybody watch the show? Am I just gabbing to fucking, am I just gabbing? Like, okay, did anybody watch the show? One. Two, if you didn't watch the show, am I making it interesting enough to be followed? Like, am I explaining it well enough to be followed? Because I know I've watched 4 hours of the show already, so I'm kind of explaining this thing as if I'm trying to explain it as if you're watching it, but also taking into consideration the fact that, you know, might not have seen it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's really it on that show for now. I mean, there's some other stuff. Yes, Deesa says. Okay, there's other stuff that's going on, but that's the main stuff there. Kind of mind-blowing. The intelligence of the AI, not the AI, the intelligence of the alien species is being put on display. I think it's absolutely brilliant. These are the big takeaways. The intelligence of the alien species. The fact that the alien species is communicating constantly around us and we just cannot hear it. And we have no idea that it's taking place. Kirsch is monitoring all the conversations, and he's sitting back and watching as this stuff takes place. He's brilliant. He's a genius. I love it. I just love it. The show is so good. I cannot wait for next week. I'm going to be back again next week. We're going to be going live at 9:30 again next Tuesday to talk about it. So, yeah. Oh, man, it's so good. It is so good. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I just love when a show... I love when a piece of work gets when it gets its fair when it comes to fruition properly. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because the IP in and of itself, conceptually, is such a fertile land to tell so many stories, but there are a myriad of creatives and combinations of creatives who could come together to tell the story that would take place in this universe and fumble it and mess it up so bad. You see it with IPs all over the place. It's happening. It's happening with Marvel. It's happening with Star Wars. It's happened with DC forever. It's just one of those things. It's on Hulu. The show is on Hulu, and you don't need to have seen Alien to watch this show. It's one of those where it'll help you with the ooh ah moments. Like you'll have ooh ah moments. Like, oh, that's the thing with the that's the company from the second movie. Like it helps with those, but if you haven't watched the movies, it doesn't hinder your ability to follow the plot at all. I'm just happy the show's good. The show's good. Alien, Alien Earth. First half of the season so far, chef's kiss from me. Absolutely beautiful. What's the gentleman's name who put it together again? Michael Daniel Christopher Michael Jack Christopher Daniel Randy Jackson, American Idol Simon. What's the guy's name who put together? What's the guy's name who directed this show? What? Noah Hawley? That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. I feel like we looked this up before and that person had 3 names. Noah Hawley is what I'm seeing everywhere. 96% Rotten Tomatoes. 96% Rotten Tomatoes, 85 Metacritic, 7.6 on IMDb. IMDb's tripping. That shit is. Rotten Tomatoes is the only accurate score on here. 96%. This show is a chef's kiss. I'm telling you, bro. It's. You're talking to a guy who loves movies. I love shows. I love writing. I love a great story. I have no problem admitting when I enjoy something that sucks. I can watch a show or movie and be like, bro, it sucked, but I loved it. I can do the same thing with movies or with music, and we'll talk about the example in a second. But I can have no problem listening to an album and being like, oh, that was great. It sucked, but God, it was good. It was so great. It sucked. It was so bad. God, it was so bad. God, it was terrible. But oh man, I had a great time. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is not one of those moments. It's not one of those moments. First half of the season so far is a masterpiece. Yeah, okay, good luck clipping that. That's fucking 40 minutes of gab, 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 gab. Gab, gab, gab. Fucking 40 minutes of it. And I just go, oh, fuck me, bro. It's okay. Peace, love, and happiness. We're good. What else do we want to talk about? There was other things that I wanted to talk about. Earl Sweatshirt. Live, Laugh, Love album. I won't spend too much time on it. We got Earl. You know what I mean? Like, what else is there to say? You got Earl. This is the first project we've had from Earl since 2023 when he dropped the Alchemist tape. And this is Earl. I had a great time with the album. It's hard to rank it because personally, when it comes to Earl albums, I have found that how I feel initially, it's always the same thing. It's always I'm really excited about Earl. Earl dropped. I'm really excited. I listened to it one time, excited. Then I sit back and think, I don't know what the fuck I just listened to. I listened to the whole album, I swear. I listened to the whole album, I swear. I have no idea I don't get it. And then I listen to it again, and then as time goes on, it makes more and more sense. And at this point, I've only listened to the album twice, and it came out 5 days ago. So I need to let it sit. At the moment, if off the top of my head, you were about to say what? What were you about to say? At this moment, off the top of my head, I give it I put it mid 80s. Mid 80s. There were some tracks on there I love. I feel like the album opened great. I love the opening. Tourmaline. Hey, bro, if you haven't heard Tourmaline, I mean, this is gonna end up getting. It's gonna end up getting. Oh, there's a music video for it. It's gonna end up flagging the stream, and as a result, I won't have to. I won't be able to do it. I just want to play a little bit of it. It's you have to listen to it. Let's talk about Earl. Yeah, Earl was gonna get talked about. There was no choice. You have to listen to Earl. So the thing about that song that was so interesting to me is that I feel like it's the first time I've heard Earl dip into a quote unquote traditional song format, like verse, chorus. You know what I mean? I don't typically hear him have choruses. I'll hear him have hooks sometimes that he never circles back to, but he had a chorus in this, a traditional chorus. And like the his flow on here was so different. Uh I don't know. That one just I felt like it opened up the whole album for me. Like I felt like I was listening to the album, I was here, then I was here, and something about that track, it just opened up the whole thing for me that allowed me to hear the last two songs differently and then hear the top half of the album differently when I played it back. I don't know what it was about that. Again, it's Earl. I'm gonna have to sit with it before I can get. I'll give you the best review of the album in a month that you've ever had. At the moment, when it comes to Earl, this is the fastest. This is the best I could do because Earl's just one of them. You got to sit with it. You know, you just got to sit with it and let it and let it. You got to live with an Earl album. It's just how it is. Um, Another album I wanted to talk about, Teyana Taylor. And I'm just gabbing. I'm just gabbing because this is kind of the stuff. This is what I've been up to this week. Um, so remember earlier how I said that I have no problem admitting when something is not quote unquote good, but I enjoy it. So Teyana Taylor in 2018, summer of 2018, dropped KTSE. KTSE is one of my favorite albums of all time, maybe my favorite. I love that album. Do I think the album is good? Nar. Nar. If I was grading the album myself, I would give it a 67. Now, Mo, how does that make any sense? You give an album a 67, yet you say it's your favorite album. It don't even make sense. What are you talking about? It don't even make sense. You give the album so low a score, but you also saying it's your favorite album. But how's it your favorite album? You give it a low score where you don't like the album, but you like the album. So what's the concept? How does it even putting it together where you like the album, you don't like the album? Well, let me explain to you instead of just babbling on about not understanding what I'm saying. Let me explain it. It depends on what your criteria is for how you enjoy the music and what you wanted that thing to be and what it ended up being. When I say it's my favorite album or one of my favorite albums, I'm basing that solely off of the listening experience. That song or that album has banger after banger after banger after banger songs. Now they're put together in a hodgepodge, weird collage that the project doesn't work seamlessly. As an album, it doesn't work. As a collection of songs, I think it's fantastic. But when I go and listen to an album, I'm reading a book. You know what I mean? But there are artists who put together albums that are essentially playlists. That's a little different. That's like scrolling through a magazine. You know what I'm saying? I want to go through an album like reading a book. People put together playlists. Playlists are like magazines. I don't want a magazine when I want to read a book, and I don't want a book when I'm trying to go through a magazine. You know what I'm saying? Very important distinction. I can never put KTSE as one of the, I can't put it anywhere near the top albums thing because it's not a good album. It's a great playlist. It's a great magazine. It would never make it as a novel. It's not a bestseller. You know what I mean? But that is an album that I sing the fuck out of every song on there except the last one. Work This Pussy is the last one. And frankly, I can't relate that much. So I get left out a little, unfortunately. But every song on there I sing my ass off to. And it's one of those albums that if my playlist is just on shuffle and a song from KTSE comes up, I gotta stop whatever I had going on and then I gotta put the whole album on and play the whole album back. It has that effect to me, and it has since it's come out. So for that reason, I say that it's one of the best. It's one of my favorites. You know what I mean? Like that's the reason I say it. Because if I'm doing it, I'm stopping if I hear a song come up, I'm stopping what I'm doing, playing the album, singing my ass off. Have to. There's no other way for me to do it. Now, to Teyana Taylor's new album, that came out the same day, I believe. The album, hold on, why do I not have this pulled up? Because I fucking suck. Escape Room, right? So Escape Room, I think it starts off, it's, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about Escape Room. I respect the fact that Teyana Taylor is able to put together the albums that she wants to put out. Because on the note of KTSE, KTSE was an album that I enjoyed listening to. But I'm also aware of the fact that she struggled a lot with the production of that album because she didn't feel like she had the creative control that she should have. There were versions of songs that she expected to be on the album that when the album came out weren't on there. So she felt slighted a lot by the creation of that whole album. That's what she said. Banned. How about that? How about that, Dissa? Banned. How about that? You like that? That's how you solve that. That's a simple fix. I got something for that. Yeah, wow. Yeah, wow. Sham wow. How about that? We got something for that. Okay. Um, so she didn't get to put together the album that she wanted when it came to KTSE. And there was one interview I was watching where she had specifically mentioned that she had stuff for her daughter or stuff from her daughter. Like she had her daughter's voice on the project. And she, I mean, of course, as an artist, as a mom, bro, you got your baby on a track. You got your little girl Junie on a track, and the album comes out and it's not, her voice ain't on it. Like, bro, I lose my shit. What do you mean? What do you mean, Kanye? Where the hell's my dog? Where's the version of the song that got my baby on it? Okay, so we go from 2018 KTSE. She didn't have the creative control that she wanted. She wanted to have more stuff from her daughter on there. She didn't get to be as vulnerable. Like there was just she didn't get to open up on the album like she wanted to. In 2020, her follow-up to that album, she dropped The Album. Now, The Album, the opening to that album, I cried like a motherfucker. The opening to The Album after KTSE and knowing how that whole album was produced and how she felt about it, the beginning of The Album, the first 2 tracks, I bawled my eyes out. No bullshit. No little tears, whimpers. No, I bawled my eyes out. The intro to that track, to the album, the intro to The Album, and they changed it initially. So if you listen to it now, the version of the album that you hear of the opening track isn't the same one that was released June 19th, 2020, the day after my birthday. It's not the same version of that song. When it initially came out, it was a 911 dispatch call. It was Iman Shumpert he was on the phone with dispatch while Tiana is giving birth to their child, and she's screaming in the background. He's panicking because they're at the house. She's giving birth. He don't really know what to do. He's talking to the lady on the phone, trying to do this. Then all of a sudden the baby comes. The baby is there. He's holding the baby. She's telling them to hold the baby in the towel. He's crying. She's crying in the background. Chills. Right? And then the next song opens up, Come Back to Me, and Teyana Taylor, her daughter Junie, has like her voice is all over the song. When you come back to me, all of my heart like no one now, I'ma give it up and let it go. And if my heart is really yours, when you come back to me. And she's got, as it comes on, Rick Ross starts off. Crazy Rick Ross doing his fucking shit, as always. But Junie, her daughter, her daughter is on the fucking song. Like, her daughter is on the song. So you go from being like, oh, she didn't get to do what she wanted to do on this one album. Hopefully she'll be able to do it next time. Then the next album comes out. The first song is a dispatch call while she's giving birth to her fucking baby. And then on her next song, on the number 2 song on the album, she's got her daughter on there singing. Like, bro, it doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better than that. That's it. That's everything. It doesn't get better. Now, when it comes to my review of Tiana's Escape Room album, it's not for me. It's not for me. It's not for me. And it's not to say that it's not great. It's not for me. The end of KTSE, I felt like KTSE, the album was in one place, and then the outro of KTSE is Work This Pussy. And I was like, okay. Right, but then you go into the album and you have, there's beautiful songs in there, but Teyana Taylor, she's all over the place. She's in different genres. We don't have to lose each other. And she's out there. There's songs where she's singing, bro, she's singing like she's on her knees at somebody's doorstep, bro, in some songs. Then she's got some other, upbeat Afrobeat type songs, and she's on there grooving and doing her thing, da 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 da. On this one, there's a bunch of interludes. She's got Taraji P on here. Hold on, let's look through it. Taraji P, Jodie Turner, I think Issa Rae was on here. Issa Rae, Kerry Washington, Regina King. So she's got the big dogs narrating on the project to kind of sew together the narrative of the album, and I think it's fine. The songs themselves are not for me. I'm not big into sex music. Camera's blurry. Sorry, yeah, I have it on autofocus, so sometimes if I'm moving around too much, it'll kind of lose its shit. Yeah, I'm not big into sex music, so I'm not, hey baby, make your music about you want to get freaky, you know what I'm saying? Hey, do your thing. I ain't mad at you. It's not for me. I'm not gonna put it on, but I don't. It's not for me. I just don't like sex music. It's not for me. I don't listen to men rap about fucking. I don't listen to women rap about fucking. I just don't do it. It's just not what I want to listen to personally. It's not what I want to get. It's just not for me. And that's perfectly fine. To each his own. I felt like she clearly tied together the narrative in terms of I feel like half the album was interludes, bro. Like half the album was narration. It was all interlude. Like you have track list, 22 tracks. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on, bro. 22 tracks. You got 9 of them are narrations. 22 tracks, 9. That leaves you with 13 songs on the album. Yeah, okay, see. So I know what's... So you see how it's because of the light. So it's dark in here at the moment, so the camera doesn't know what's going on. It can't detect my face. But as soon as I do this, then all of a sudden it evens itself out. Now I can focus on my face. Right? I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. But yeah, whatever. Teyana Taylor, Escape Room, good work, girl. Do your thing. I still love Teyana Taylor. We had a thing back in the day. We had a brief thing. It wasn't anything. I mean, she was really crazy about me. She was kind of obsessed. But I think she's a great person, and I still support her in her career. And it just didn't work out. And hopefully she'll find what she needs in life. Hopefully she'll find that. What else I want to talk about? Raja. Y'all seen the Raja Jackson stuff? Rampage's kid. You seen Raja Jackson try to murder a dude on live stream? Yes, no. I mean, he tried to murder a dude on live stream. So that was a thing. Yeah, he did that. So, you didn't see it. So, this is essentially what happened. So, Raja, Rampage Jackson's kid. Rampage Jackson was a former UFC fighter. He's trained his son in MMA, and yeah, I'll tell you the story. You can stay under your rock if you want. Here, I'll bring the news to you. Look, so Rampage Jackson, former UFC fighter. Raja Jackson, son of Rampage Jackson, trained in MMA from the time he was a child as a result of his father's profession. They're in this live stream. Sorry, this mic thing. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to fucking lose it right now. I'm going to lose it. Oh, I'm going to lose it. So they're all him and his dad are both live streaming. So all they do, they live stream all the time. I've seen more clips of them in the past month than I've seen of Rampage Jackson's fighting, his entire career. It's insane. But his son, he pulled up to a wrestling event. It's not WWE. It's like a lower, like a local, I'm assuming, local wrestling thing. He pulls up and one of the dudes, he's talking to one of the guys outside. They're outside in the back before the show starts and everything. Dude hits him upside the head with a full beer can. Bing! So apparently, dude thought that Raja was one of the wrestlers. So he's trying to do the wrestling thing. He didn't know that Raja wasn't there. I'm assuming, based on the stuff that I've watched, like the clips and everything, the stream itself, that he saw the camera. Raja was a bigger guy and assumed that he was one of the wrestlers in the camera that was, for his live stream. He assumed that that was like a wrestling thing, and so he was going to make a moment and whatever. They let the dude know. He's like, bro, he's not talent. He's not So Raja gets pissed. They had to separate them. Then the dude that hit him in the head with the beer can, afterwards, he apologizes to him. He's like, man, I apologize. I thought you were, I don't know. I my bad. I didn't know. But they arranged for Raja to go and give the dude a receipt. Now, for those who aren't hip to the wrestling lingo, a receipt is when, you're not actually beating the shit out of each other in a wrestling match. You're really throwing each other to the ground and all that type of stuff, or to the mat. But you're not actually punching somebody in the jaw. Now, if somebody stiffs you, stiff is when you work somebody too hard. Now, if somebody does something like that, you give them a receipt, which is like, it's your get back. You tag them back. You know what I'm saying? Do a little something to get so now we're even. We can all move forward. You get your receipt. They arranged for Raja to go into the match, the dude's match, during his match and give him a receipt. And so they thinking he's gonna go in there and I don't even know really. Based on the stuff that I was watching, they gave him no direction at all. Like they gave him no direction. They didn't tell him what to do, or they just were kind of like, yeah, go in there, give him your receipt. Give him his receipt. And I'm like, I mean, it was kind of ambiguously worded. Even as somebody who knew what was going to happen and who watched it multiple times, even then I was kind of like, is that what we chose to go with? Like is that, that seems like that should not be, I don't know, bro. Especially he's not in the wrestling world. So what do you mean you gave him no direction? I don't know, bro. The whole thing is kind of, do we want to watch this? Let's watch it, right? Like, because at this point, it won't matter unless we're watching it. So we got to watch it. Okay. Can we see this? Okay. Oh, you can't see it. Only I can see it. Can you see it? Or can I can only see it. Okay. Hold on. Oh, this is annoying. Oh, this is annoying. Don't get mad. Don't get mad, Mo. It's okay. It works out. It always works out. Okay. So this is this is what happens. So this is Raja here. Raja is waiting ringside during dude's match, right? He's waiting ringside, right? They're waiting to cue him up. They tap him on the shoulder when it's time for him to run in there and do the thing, right? We're going to watch this without any audio. So this is the guy here. Raja walks in the ring. Now he walks in and it looks like a performance. Look, this is coming from somebody who has loved professional wrestling his entire life. I've watched wrestling from the time I was 9 years old. I watch WrestleMania every fucking year. I love wrestling. I watch it. I don't watch it every single week like I used to. I don't follow. I make it a point to follow Raw because now Raw's on Netflix. But I catch it when I follow up with it all the time. I don't watch it all the time, but I always watch WrestleMania. Yeah, and that's my boy Toke. Toke, bro, I love you, bro. But 100%. So let's just play it out. Picks dude up. First off, in my head, I'm like, this is a strong motherfucker right there. You know what I'm saying? For a second, I forgot who his daddy was. You know what I mean? Like, cause you gotta be. Let's this dude here. This dude is a plumber. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? This dude is a plumber. This poor plumber. Yeah, I know a plumber when I see one. This is a plumber. Now, this is a young, trained MMA fighter whose daddy is borderline psychotic and has passed it down to him. And this poor 60-year-old plumber, has no idea what's going on. Picks him up over his head. Look, I've watched a lot of wrestling in my day. Like I said, I ain't never seen no slamming like that. Bink. So what? Let's be, so you can all understand. So everybody understands. He's unconscious when he hits the ground. Just watch his head. Boom. You're unconscious. So it's done. Right? He's unconscious. He slammed him. He slammed him. His head bounces off the canvas. He's already unconscious. Boom. Look at his arms. He's done. That's not a shoot. He's done. Now, that could have been the receipt. A stiff-ass receipt. A hefty one, right? A hefty-ass, unnecessary-ass receipt. And even then, people would have been like, hey, bro, you ain't really have to do that. For real. You know what I'm saying? People would have been like, bro, you didn't have to do that. And then, bink, 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 bink. Bro, he's beating his ass. He's beating Morse code on a dude's forehead, bro. Hey, bro, he beating Morse code. Now, it's not funny. Hey, that's not funny. Hey, y'all need to stop. It's not funny. The reason I'm laughing is because I've watched it already. So like the night that this stuff happened, I watched it. Then I watched the videos about it, and then so it's not fresh in my head. Watching it first, you're like, holy shit, that's insane. Like, that's insane. Then these guys come in, and people were talking shit about how long it took for people to come in there and break it up. Bro, you're in a wrestling group. You don't know. We can watch this as viewers and be like, somebody should have stepped in, because we already know the end result. We already watched the caption. You don't go through life with captions about what the fuck is happening. So these are just people that are in sports entertainment that they do show acts of fake violence all the time. So they're watching this shit unfold, assuming that it's fake. Like, they're assuming that it's part of the show. It's not until they are blatantly apparent that this guy is not stopping and that this guy isn't reacting that it's not fake. And at that point, that's when they step in. They're like, hey, yeah, okay, cut this shit. You know what I mean? So that's what happened. Now I'll tell you something. Going to jail. I'll tell you something. Locked up a little bit. I mean, I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. I mean, I've seen people get their ass beat and shit. I mean, yeah, never mind, I guess. But that was crazy to see. Now, I've seen people get their ass beat. I've seen people get knocked out when they are unconscious already. I've never seen somebody eat 16 shots to the jaw when they're already asleep. Now, what is being said about this whole thing on social media? That Raja needs to go to jail, that Raja is a wild animal, he's a criminal and needs to be handled according. He needs to be banned from these streaming platforms. Rampage Jackson, his dad, has already gone online and apologized to Kick, and essentially had already issued this sort of statement of, I do not condone my son's actions. A sellout bitch move of a father. Sorry, it's very unbecoming of me to say. I don't like that. I take that back. As a father, I feel like you should handle that differently than going on and apologizing to everybody, including the streaming platform, and saying that I do not condone my son's actions. I think that I don't really respect that move like that. His career's done. I mean, streaming wise, he's probably banned from Kick, and like permanently, because I mean that's you committed a felony on live stream. In terms of him getting into the UFC, he could still do it. That's the crazy part. He could still end up in it. But you got John Jones been getting arrested bi-weekly for the past 7-8 years. Not even a decade. What year is it? 25. A decade and a half. John Jones has been getting his bi-weekly arrests, and he was still making millions and getting his title fights. So it depends. He's not getting a job at Staples. I'll tell you that. They're not going to hire him at Best Buy. Not after they see that video. Your dreams of working at Geek Squad are done, brother. Nope. You're a liability. You are done. You'll never work in this town again, not in that industry. You can still like I said, he can still fight and be fine. I don't think that fighting. Here's a hot take. That you may or may not like. I don't think that fighting is a hindrance to getting paid to fight. Shit. Who else has gotten in trouble? Nate Diaz? I think his fighting career is fine. It might impede his ability to go to the UFC. Maybe, possibly, might. He can still go fight in one. He can still go fight in Bellator. He can still go fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he can still go fight somewhere. But yeah. PFL. I'm sorry, not Bellator. Bellator doesn't exist anymore, right? It's PF. They operate. I think PFL is the new thing because that's where Shorty came from. But yeah, that's it's okay. So yeah, back to what I was saying. On one hand, it's kind of the Raja's an animal. On the other hand, a day or two earlier, he was live streaming him sparring in the gym, and we did watch him get his bell rung, and he got concussed. So the flip side to that, the devil's advocate, perspective is he shouldn't have been anywhere out. He shouldn't have been outside running around. He should have been in the house dealing with this concussion that we just watched him have or, contract or endure or whatever. Getting knocked around does have it does have effects on cognitive function and like impulse control. Like I'm like it does have impacts on shit like that. So your ability to regulate emotion is certainly a part of like the effects of TBI, like of concussions and shit like that. So, you know, I think people are making the sort of argument where, yeah, he just was concussed a few days prior, and then not only was he just concussed a few days prior, he was also just got his head bashed in by a full beer can, and then lashes out, slams a guy on his head, and punches him 16 times when he's unconscious. So it could be one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's, you know, that's the effect of that type of thing. But who knows? It's wild. It was wild to watch. Because when like I said, I was following it when it happened. At first, people didn't know if it was real. And so now when I look at it online or you look it up, it's all, he should go to jail, he's a monster, da-da-da-da. At first, when I was watching it, it was just everybody trying to figure out if it was real or not. And the first time I watched it, I was like, look, bro, I've trained in Muay Thai briefly. I've trained in jiu-jitsu for a short amount of time, and I wrestled for years. Bro, I've seen motherfuckers get slammed on their head. I know when a motherfucker gets slammed, he knocked out. Bro, I've seen fights at the school. You know, seen people go fight off in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I've seen motherfuckers get dropped in the head. I know what it looked like a motherfucker knocked out cold. And I've watched enough wrestling to know when to know a fake punch. So, yeah, that happened. So, I don't know. Good job, Raja, I guess, or some shit. Fucking clown boy. Okay, somebody told me this actually earlier today. Let me look. Hold on, bro. So I was talking to one of my managers today, and she was talking about she was ordering food from the she was ordering food from the job, and she said, "I'm not doing the shrimp though." She said, "I'm not touching shrimp for a long time." I say, "What happened? What you mean not touching shrimp? What's wrong with what? You don't like shrimp or something?" I said, "I'm not a shrimp person anyway." So she's like, "What happened? You don't like the shrimp?" Hey, bro. Now I don't know if you can read or not. Maybe if you're just listening, you don't know what I just pulled up. I just pulled up an article that bit say FDA recalls more frozen shrimp over radioactive contamination concerns. What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean radioactive shrimp? What, these motherfuckers got into the ooze that the Ninja Turtles had or something? What do you mean radioactive shrimp? Where are they from? How are they radioactive? What are you talking about? We eat the shrimp, we gonna grow a third eye? Bro, what do you mean? Bro, we can't have nothing, bro. We got microplastics and everything. We got microplastics. Flax seeds are making men's taint smaller. We can't eat the shrimp because it's radioactive. What the hell's going on? Like, what's going on for real, bro? I'm getting pissed off. I'm getting pissed off now, bro. Everybody, let's everybody. You can't eat the grass. In a week, they're gonna tell you that the grass is giving you cancer. You can't eat the grass, bro. Don't do it. Don't get hyped up in the grass. We're not eating grass either. There's microplastics. They talking about you can't even drink stuff out of glass anymore. There's the glass. There's something wrong with the glass, they say. Well, we can't do the plastic. We won't do plastic Tupperware because there's microplastics in there. So we're all going to just switch to... Yep, starving is the only option. Starving and hold your breath. Because if you breathe in the air, you breathe in the microplastics too. So we should all stop breathing right now. That's the only way to save ourselves. We got to stop breathing right now. Everybody on the count of 3. I'm out. But what does that mean? Shortly after the U.S. Food and Drug Administration recalled frozen shrimp at Walmart, additional brands of shrimp are being recalled for the same reason. There is concern that the imported packaged crustaceans could be contaminated by a radioactive chemical called cesium 137. What? What? What is cesium 137? Oh, thank God they asked the question that I was asking. Is a man-made radioisotope that can be present in small amounts in the environment and at higher levels in food or in waters. I swear I can read. Swear to God I can read. And at higher levels in water or foods grown, raised, or produced in areas with environmental contamination. The primary concern attached to it is in regard to long-term repeated low-dose exposure, which may cause an elevated risk of cancer from cellular damage to DNA, according to the FDA and the FDA. We're fucked. We're fucked, bro. We can't eat any shrimp, bro. You mean to tell me I can't eat any shrimp, bro? I can't eat shrimp, the damn radioisotope, Celsius cesium-137. Gonna give me cancer, bro. I can't eat any shrimp, bro, radioactive? Come on, bro. I'm about to get pissed off. I'm about to get pissed off. So, we're good. We're pack it up, fellas. Pack it up. Pack it up. You thought you was gonna get away. You thought you was eating some shrimp. Now, I will say that, frankly, I don't eat no goddamn shrimp anyway. I think it's disgusting. I don't care. I think it's gross. I don't eat no damn shrimp. I don't eat it. So it's not disgusting. I just don't eat it. But you want to know the reason why I stopped? So I at one point in time, the diet disappeared. It just blanked out from my head. What's the diet where you just eat seafood? I won't look it up because I want participation in the chat. What is the diet called where you just eat pescatarian? So at one point I was pescatarian. It was cool. I felt great. Whatever. It was light. I felt like I was getting the protein, but I wasn't eating a lot of red meats and stuff, so that was great. Then I got off of it because I missed wings and eggs too much. You know what fucked that up for me? You want to know what fucked up the pescatarian diet? And Disa, I think we've talked about this before. So I remember an episode of Fear Factor. They were talking about on this one episode of Fear Factor where these people had to be, I think it was either a guy or a couple, they had to be exempt from one of the competitions that involved roaches because they were allergic to roaches. Right? They were allergic to roaches. So in the next challenge, they had to eat lobster. They had to deal with lobster. And they went into shock. They had an allergic reaction and they went into shock because of the fact that they were allergic to lobster. And the reason for that is because lobster, there's some DNA that is shared between lobster and cockroaches. And they realized that the lobster and the cockroach are closely related, so therefore they're essentially allergic to both. So now I just started viewing lobster as water roaches. And that's disgusting. That's gross. Water roaches. Sorry, that's disgusting. Sorry, terribly sorry. That's disgusting. So that kind of fucked it up for me. Lobster, crab, shrimp, scallops. When I look at all of those things, I'm like, they're all fucking bugs. They're all water bugs. They're all water bugs. And they might be a good source of protein. They're all fucking water bugs. It's a damn shame. Time to become vegetarian. It's time for me to stop breathing. Like I said, to stop the damn microplastics from getting into my body and to save myself the trouble. Save myself the trouble from the radioactive shrimp and these cockroach lobsters and the microplastics and the chia seeds and the soy and the we're all going. It's all downhill. There's a lot I gotta do. I'll be honest, there's a lot I gotta do. Shit. Shit me. Let me see. Let me see if we can find some. Let's see. Biologyinsights.com. Does that seem like a reliable web source? Let's see. No. No, heard. Okay. Um okay, let's do some homework, class. Let's do some homework. Everybody pay attention to the screen, please. Thank you. Need everybody to focus, please. Put your phones away. Jason, take your hood off. Jason, you're going to piss me off. Jason, I know your dad. I know your dad. You must be forgetting. I know your dad. We play pickleball every Tuesday. Jason, take your fucking hood off. You're going to piss me off. Everybody, phones away. Jason, take your hood off. Everybody paying attention? Let's pay attention, class. Okay. Lobster, the cockroach of the sea, question mark. Now, this is bugsinourbackyard.org. Is this reliable? It's from 2015. I'm already not interested. I'll be honest with you. It's 10 years old. I'll be honest, bro. It's 10 years old. I don't trust it already. I think 10 years ago, we were fucking listening to LMFAO and doing Gangnam Style. You know what I'm saying? Can you trust people from an era where they listening to goddamn Gangnam Style and party rocking? I don't think so. I wouldn't trust them. I'm out. I'll be honest, bro. I'm out. I'll be honest. I'm out. I don't trust it. Forgetting your history, have you? Nope. I'm out. But yeah. So yeah, no, I view bugs. I just view them as bugs of the water, and it's impossible now for me to eat those things. I just can't do it. That's really all I had to talk about. All I wanted to talk about. There was something about an incoming spaceship too. Do we want to talk about aliens and spaceships? Speaking of the aliens that we were talking about earlier. This will be the last thing. This will be the last thing we talked about. Okay. Jason, if you put your fucking hood up one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to put your head through the window. Everybody pay attention. Eyes up, please. If I see phones, I'm taking them. Put the longboard up. Thank you. Okay. Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? I'm supposed to start substitute teaching soon. Sorry, guys. I'm practicing. Okay. So NASA tracks alien object speeding towards Earth at a lot of miles per hour. That time right here. I can't even do this. Okay, that time. Okay, mind you, this is MSN.com. Is that reliable? MSN.com. Does that work? MSN. Scientists are on. Nothing's good enough for you kids nowadays. We're reading MSN. Scientists are on high alert as an unidentified object has been detected speeding towards Earth. The nature of this object remains a mystery, but one expert suggests it could be extraterrestrial in origin. Now, if I remember correctly, the reason that they believe that it is a ship as opposed to simply an asteroid is due to the fact that they said it was like, what, 4 miles long? So it'll be here in late fall, first spot of July 1st. If the object turns out to be an alien vessel, Lieb estimates that such craft would arrive on Earth between November 1st and December 5th. Come on. Like, come on. Like, one that now, okay, I will also say, what is the average speed that like our ships? How fast do our like? How fast is like a average speed of what? Like a rocket? Are they called rocket? Like what spaceship? I don't fucking know. Average speed of space? I don't know. Spacecraft. That was typed so poorly that apparently at one to the steady speed cruise at 16,000 miles per hour. Okay, so we're looking at the fastest spacecraft, the Parker Solar Probe, travels at a speed of 430,000 miles per hour. This is 135. This weak ass, slow ass ship, bruh. This shit better be humans. This shit better be this shit better just be us. This better be. You know what this better be? This better be humans from the past or from the future. I don't give a shit. Where they were stranded somewhere, they had to ragtag put together some piece of shit ship to try to get back to Earth so that they could regroup and then get back to their time. And this is the fastest they could get the ship to go with their technology. 135,000 miles per hour. And we have spacecraft that go in 430. Hey, bro, tighten up, weak ass aliens. Bro, aliens weak as hell, bro. These aliens weak. Now hold on. What is the size? Because the size is what was very interesting to people. That's what had people. Okay. Interstellar object could be on a reconnaissance mission. Okay, but also let's take a second. Is it not crazy that this is the name of the article?
Saving on your education.
Sweet Jesus
right.
Lord.
Not a competition.
Like, is it not crazy that this is the name of the article? You know what I'm saying? The name of the article. Not letting me scroll up anymore. Harvard physicist says massive interstellar object could be alien probe. When would you ever see the name of an article be that? Isn't that weird? Like, they started doing this during the pandemic. Mind you, I used to be a huge alien person, and then, you know, like, it's not that I believe in aliens any less. I just don't like talking about it because it's so difficult to speak about aliens in a way that like doesn't come across as this pro alien nut job, when it's like, yeah, no, I mean, I could have a conversation with you about it for, you know, hours, but it just falls on deaf ears most of the time. People have already made up their decision. There's no point in wasting words. But put all that aside, believe or don't believe, you would have to at least acknowledge that this sort of title for an article did not exist pre-2020. That started taking place during the pandemic, and many people hypothesize that it was their way of kind of getting people comfortable with the idea of extraterrestrials and kind of just dropping it piecemeal into media. That way, if it did happen or something were to take place, that we wouldn't lose our shit as a species and just have society get flung into utter chaos. To say that this object that you would never see a physicist say, to speak hypothetically on Like it just seems so anti-scientific, does it not? To have a physicist say that, hey, this thing that is possibly an interstellar object could also possibly be on a reconnaissance mission. That just seems weird. But we'll continue. I just want to see where it talks about the size of this ship. Because I know I said like 4 miles, but okay, 20 kilometers? The reason, see, that's the reason that they said, right, there's no trail. So there's no trail, which is leading people to believe that it's a ship that is being, which would lead it to believe it's one of two things. It's either a ship that is operating off of a propulsion system that we do not have access to with our current, level of science. Like we work off a propulsion system, so it has to expel something in order to move, right? Whether it be fucking, whatever sort of molecule, fire, air, whatever, it has to expel something. This has no trail. We're trailing nothing coming from behind the ship. We're tracking nothing coming from behind the ship. So it's like, it would lead people to believe it's one or two things. This is even a comet has a tail with gas and dust. Here you see a glow in front but not behind it. So that's weird. Okay, 20 kilometers across. And it's unusually bright for its distance. 20 kilometers across. However, according to Lieb, its most unusual characteristics is its trajectory. If you imagine objects entering the solar system from random directions, just 1 in 500 of them would be aligned so well with the orbits of the planets, he said. Crazy. So, this fall we could be graced with the presence of an extraterrestrial species of some kind, an intelligence from, presumably outside of the solar system, which frankly would be quite interesting. The future of what it means to be human and to live on Earth would be forever changed, for the better or for worse. Who knows? I don't fucking know. I'm not here to discuss it. But if everything goes according to plan, I'll be here to live through it and go through it and see what happens. Now, how much is 20 kilometers? Okay. Please, guys, pay attention. Billy, I swear to God, you're trying me. Or Joey, or whatever the fuck his name was. Measuring about 20 kilometers across. This says measuring 20 kilometers across. But it's 12 fucking miles. Are you telling me that am I being told that the ship is 12 miles? That's insane. Bro, you're telling me a ship bigger than Manhattan is working its way towards Earth? Bro, a whole species could be in there. Bro, like an entire race could be in that ship. An entire race. How many people could you pack into? Hypothetically, how many people do you think you could pack into a 12-mile fucking ship? First off, let's think about it like this. I've read a lot of comic books and I've watched a lot of sci-fi. We're fucked. Sorry. Sorry, we're fucked. 10,000? Yeah, no. Significantly more than that. 12 miles? Nah. 10,000? Way more than that. At least. I mean, shit, how big is Chicago? They got 1 million people in Chicago. And I mean 12 miles. And the reason that I say we're fucked is because very rarely, and of course everything that's being said is through the precedent of like what it is to be human and like studying human history, so this could not be the case for this specific situation. But usually if you are introducing yourself to another civilization, another, family, another individual, you don't usually pull up with an entire city. Usually, pulling up with an entire city is a sign of invasion. Usually, that's what you would do when you're coming to take over. You're not here to have a conversation. You're not here to share technology. You're not here to monitor. No, that's usually what you do when you show up. Like that's when your only plan is to show up and take over. So they have 12 miles worth of whatever the fuck kind of beings these are, and they're going to come here. They'll probably start to disperse. They'll probably just fly on over. It'll look like those ships. It looks like ships crop dusting fields and shit. And they'll probably just drop off a bunch of them as they just fly over populated areas. And they'll just hop out and take everything over. And before we know it, it'll be done. That's another possibility. Wouldn't that be interesting? Wouldn't that be some shit? Wouldn't that be some shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me try to pull this up. Like it's very possible that is how that goes. You know what I mean? And as they're flying over, hold on. As they're flying over, it's kind of just this, right? And they're just dropping all these things out as they fly over New York and Chicago and LA and Miami. They're just crop dusting the entire planet. They're just dropping off hundreds of these things wherever they go, and whatever. That's certainly a possibility. I'm sorry, fellas. You mean to tell me that this thing is supposed to be here in November, December, and it's 12 miles long? How many people could you fit in 12? Like, come on, bro. We're talking about it, and God forbid these things are, smaller than us. And you fitting a few million of them in that shit, bro. They coming up at this. Oh, it's gonna be something. We'll see though. Hey, we'll see. At the end of the day, I'm here, so I'll be going through it just like the rest of us. Now, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I'm gonna kick this music right back on because you know what I'm saying, a brother kind of feel like we did well. I don't like that music at all. Sorry. Don't like this either. Can't win. Sorry. There we go. That's a little more my speed here. Altogether, I think that was a fantastic stream. I think that was the best stream that I've done. That's what I'll say. I'll say that's the best stream that I've done so far. Now, we've had good streams, very good streams. But in terms of what it is that I want to do streaming wise and how this went, I would say that this was the best stream that I've done. I covered everything I wanted to talk about. We talked about Alien. We talked about Earl, Tiana Taylor, aliens coming to Earth and taking over. What am I missing? The Rajah Jackson killing the dude on live stream and the radioactive shrimp. We've covered everything that I wanted to cover today, and I did not know if I'd be able to get through it because of how I was feeling before the stream started, but we got through everything. That's a fucking W stream. That's a W of a stream, and I'm very happy about that. And I'm also looking at this follower count. I have 30 followers. Holy shit. I don't know how that happened. On Streamlabs. Thank you very much, Disa. I appreciate that. On Streamlabs, it tells me I have 27 for some reason. Whereas directly on Twitch, I have 3. Now, hopefully I average enough viewers to get me to affiliate. Hopefully. Because that's one of those things. I think that's also like a hindrance to views. I believe if you become affiliate, you get a check mark. Is that right? Is that true? Yeah. You get a check mark by your name on Twitch. And that's one of those things where, it helps. It starts to feed off of itself, right? You put in the work, achieve that thing, and because it was hard to get these things to achieve the thing, but those things come easier now because you have the check. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those. So we're almost there. The views are there, the amount of streams are there. The only thing is the amount of views. So I just gotta average, I think, one more viewer per stream or something like that over last X amount of stream. I don't know. The progress is at 3 of 4, so I'm almost there. That's what she said. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for tonight. I think that was a good stream. Thank you for being here. Disa, thank you for being here. Toke, thank you for pulling up, brother. I love you. Pillon G, you was in here earlier. I don't know if you're still here or not, but thank you for stopping by. And whoever else might be here or watching it on the replay. That's all I got. I'll be streaming again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'll probably be on 6 or 7. 6, 7. I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna make an edit out of that. And that's it. Guys, thank you very much for being with me on a Tuesday. That's all I got for tonight. Everybody, brush your teeth, floss, comb your hair, say your prayers, turn your burner on to the highest temperature, pluck one of your beard hairs and set it on there. Set it on there until it starts to smell like burning hair, and then blink, drop it into your mouth and swallow it. Take all your toenails and put them in a mason jar that you keep on your windowsill. Do 10 minutes of a pet egg each foot. Rinse your eyes out with mouthwash and whatever else people do before bed. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace, love, and happiness. Thank you very much. Love you. Good night. Good night, good night, good night, good night.